Hi, everyone. This is Coach David, and this is my Tuesday leadership tip. Although I'm not sure if it's a leadership tip or just some advice that I'd like to share with you that kind of relates to today. I was visiting my aunt and uncle. My uncle, unfortunately, he had to be admitted to the nursing home, and I went to see him today. 91, he's still holding tough. But when you go to a nursing home, you obviously see a lot of people that are at those final stages in life, and you think about legacies and what is your legacy? What do you want people to remember you as? My uncle has a lot of amazing traits, and I'm proud of it in so many ways, and what he taught me. And I recall a dealer principal that I was working with once, and he was kind of burnt out. He had been working the desk and he had been handling so many deals over the years that he had gotten a little bit tough, jaded, and he wasn't his true self. And we had a conversation about how he wanted to be remembered because he was struggling. He had seen every mistake in the book done by salespeople, and it was getting under his skin, and he just didn't want to be that guy that was berating his employees and treating them poorly. But yet he found himself caught into these frustrations that was doing just that. And so I talked to him about, sadly, I had the experience of two dealer principals passing away. And I went to their funerals, and I couldn't have experienced two more different funerals than these two individuals. For one, he was a hard man, and he was a tough person to work for, and I will not lie when I say that he wasn't very well liked. Yet he was rich beyond belief. He owned the whole city, whole town. He had 5 different dealerships. He owned a bunch of other business establishments, and he knew everybody, knew everyone in town. And I remember when he passed, and I went to his funeral, and I got there a little early, and I'm sitting in the church, and it was getting close to about time to start, and I got nervous. I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong church. How did I end up in the wrong church? There's nobody there, and I grabbed my brochure, my pamphlet, and I looked, and there's his name right there on the funeral pamphlet. I was not in the wrong church, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Here's this man that knows thousands of people. He knows everybody, and nobody's at his funeral. And this is a huge church, and there's rows and rows and rows and rows of pews, and there's the family way up front, and I'm sitting somewhat near the back, and it's empty. And I couldn't believe it. I was just stunned. And I remember I went and visited one of my friends, and her friend used to work for this man. And when I told her that he had passed away, she real quick ran to her phone, put it on speaker dial, and she called her friend. She's like, guess who passed away? And her friend's response, ding dong, the witch is dead. And you think, there's this man's legacy. Had all the money in the world, and yet this is what he leaves behind. And then I went to, unfortunately, another passing of one of my dealer principals, and it was the exact opposite. Here, I thought I knew him pretty well, but I got to the funeral, and it was overwhelmingly packed. Standing room only. In fact, they had to pump in speakers into the hallways because there were just too many people, and they wanted to have everybody hear what was going on in the church, but there just wasn't any more room. And as part of the services, they asked if anybody would want to get up and say a few words. And holy cow, it was one person after the other, after the other, after the other, getting up there and sharing these stories about what this man did for them. Nobody else knew how he had helped them, how he had done something to really save them in their lives. And even the family members, you could see on the looks on their faces, they had no idea he had done all these things. So Having, like I said, been to the nursing home today, I was thinking about this and I wanted to share with you. As we're in dealerships, there's lots of frustrations and there's lots of challenges. But take some time to think about what you want your legacy to be. What do you want people to remember about you? The little things that you did, and it was funny how some of these things that the people went up and said, they were not massive, huge things. They were just ways that this man had touched them and made them feel special. And I know that we all get caught up in the daily grind. And I just like to remind us all to think about what we can do to impact our fellow coworkers and the people that we oversee, and to leave behind a legacy that not only will we be proud of, but our family members will be proud of, and all the people that we work with will be proud of. So thank you for your time. That is my Tuesday leadership tip. Take care.